Hey, welcome to Let's Talk. This week we have an extra special guest with us. His name is Shane.
Hello.
Of course, we have Mackenzie. We've got some great topics for you here. We're going to start with Shane. First of all, tell us what you do around the department and.
I am the general manager of KNWT, even though we're not on television right now. We're on this online only funness. But yeah, I also just the general manager of the station. I guess that's really the only title I have.
Okay. What is your topic this week?
My topic for this week is just concerts. I'd like to talk about that a little bit with you guys. The weather's getting warm, so I'm pretty excited. That's when concerts start really getting going, and you have those nice outdoor concerts, and that's always fun. I don't have any plans to go see any concerts or anything, but hopefully I can eventually get to one, whether money allows it or where I'm living or who knows what the future has for me, but I'd like to eventually get to another concert sometime soon. I just enjoy live music a lot, so I figured I'd ask you guys what's your best concert experience that you've ever had? If you could pick like one show and why that show is so awesome. Yeah.
Mackenzie, do you want to start with your story?
Okay. My favorite experience is actually seeing Skillet.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen them a lot, and I've only ever seen like two bands live, so, whatever. But normally they were in like very large venues, and we were like way at the back. It was with youth group and all that. But this time, my best friend had found tickets for like relatively cheap, like $40 or something.
It's not bad.
And so it was like a pretty small venue, so like she got them, snatched them up pretty quick. We didn't get meet and greet passes or anything because that's too much money for some broke college kids. And we get there, and it's in downtown Omaha, and it starts pouring down rain. So we're like, great, we don't have an umbrella. We don't have anything to like cover ourselves up with because from the rain. So yeah, it didn't seem that great. And so we're waiting, and like the meet and greet time is kind of getting to an end, and doors are about to open. And this lady is like walks down the line, and she stops right in front of us, and she goes, "You guys want to meet the band?" And we just go, "What?" She goes, "You want to meet the band?" We're like, "Sure." So she very sneakily pulls out of her pockets 2 wristbands, puts them around us, and is like, "Okay, go in, go through those doors, and they'll let you in." And we're like, we hope this isn't a scam because we had pretty good spots in line. And so get inside, get past the people pretty, like, just fine. They're like, yeah, go ahead. Meet the band, which was fantastic. And they felt so bad that, like, we had been standing outside in the rain. They were very, like, apologetic about it, even though it's not their fault. They're like, we're so sorry you're out there. And I was just very excited because I had seen them so many times and I've listened to them for so many years that I got to meet them and I got to have a picture with them. And I was like, I told them that, and I was just very happy. And so since we were there so early and we got those random tickets, we weren't like right at the front, but we were like behind. Like there was like one person in front of us. So we were like right next to the stage the entire time.
That's awesome.
And it was great. And the little group of us, we kind of like angled ourselves, like there's quite a few of us, angled ourselves so we still had enough room too, so we weren't like shoulder to shoulder with people. It helped that we had like a bunch of like suburban moms in front of us who wanted their space. So we're like, all right, this works. But that's probably my best experience because then I also made my the DCE of my church jealous because I got to meet them and he hasn't. And I was very happy about that.
I've never actually been able to meet I've been to a fair share of concerts, but I've never actually got to meet anybody there. So that's awesome. That's a really crazy experience.
It's a good time.
Philip, what about yourself? What do you got?
I have a similar experience actually. Same genre of music, Christian rock band. I actually got to see them in Colorado. They set up a stage just in the mountains.
Oh, that's cool.
Just in like this valley, and there was no like stadium seating or anything. We just brought like lawn chairs. And we just sat out there, and it was like incredible because like they had speakers, but they didn't need like a ton of speakers just because there was mountains on all sides, and so it just kind of like echoed through the whole valley, and like you could hear like after they would say something, just like the words would like carry for like miles, and there was like cars that drove by and stuff and they would honk or whatever, but like it was just like really neat to be like outside in this valley in Colorado, just like listening to this music.
What band was it?
Their name starts with an A.
Oh.
I don't remember it right now.
Okay.
But it seems bad. I don't remember their name. I got to meet the band afterwards. They were really cool dudes. It was not Aerosmith.
I mean, I don't think they're Christian rock.
Yeah.
So
No, it was not Aerosmith. Gosh, not many bands start with the letter A.
I was just trying to think of like any that
I know
that start with an A.
I think the only other Christian rock band I can tell you off the top of my head is 1,000 Foot Crutch. That's because they tour with Skillet every time. So, like,
yeah.
Was it any? There wasn't Red Rocks, was it? Like, I just curious because it was Colorado, and I know that's kind of around a mountain area.
It was around Castle Rock, Colorado. If you know where that.
Can't say I'm familiar.
It's out there.
That's That's awesome, though.
Yes, but that was probably the best concert experience. And this April, I'm going to see Home Free live in St. Louis. They're an a cappella band, and I love them.
Cool.
And that's going to be exciting. Shane, what is your best concert experience?
My best concert experience, it was really, and like, for me anyways, when I look into this is less to do with like because all the musical acts were great, but it was more of like the craziness of the trip is what made it an awesome experience, similar to like having some surprise at your concert or getting to be, less with the sound of what was happening with the bands, but like it was just, it was a whirlwind, like I said, didn't have it planned out because that's usually how I like to do concerts, just last minute type thing. I had a friend approach me and another friend was like, okay, I've got these tickets to go see. It was Magnificent Coloring Day. It was a big concert put on by Chance the Rapper, and I mean, tons of big name people were there. Alicia Keys, John Legend, trying to think of who else was on the bill. Tyler the Creator. It was just a bunch of, and then Skrillex randomly like ended it. It was the only person that didn't really fit with the music, but yeah, it was a bunch of rappers.
I didn't think Skrillex still did anything nowadays.
Yeah, that was the last like I've seen or heard of him. But so like it was last minute, so within a week we were like, yeah, I guess we're gonna do this, and so we left to drive to Chicago straight, go to this concert, come back. It was at where it was, I can't remember. They've changed the name of the stadium, but at the time it was the U.S. Cellular Baseball Stadium, which is where the Chicago White Sox play, and that was really cool to see a concert inside of a baseball stadium. I've never done that before. But on the trip down there, we had kind of been joking around that Kanye West would show up, since this was like Chance the Rapper's huge into this tour Chicago show that he had, where it was the first ever concert held in that baseball stadium. First ever music festival, I should say. I don't know about concert, but first ever music festival held in there.
How much did the tickets cost you for that?
I think they were like $80 or $90 or
that's
something
actually
like that.
pretty good.
It was because Tim, my friend who got them really early on. Like as soon as they came out, he got them. But he had some friends back out on them, and he was like, "I know it's last minute. Let's do this." And I was like, "All right, let's go." and I was like, "This is no other chance." But we were joking around about that, and then we looked up his tour dates, and we saw that he had a show in Tennessee that night, and we were like, "Oh yeah, whatever. He's not gonna come." And so we're hanging out waiting in between acts, and all of a sudden we hear the song that Chance released with Kanye. Actually, no, it was Kanye's newest song off of his newest album with Chance, and we just thought it was playing over the speakers because it was in between acts, and then you just start hearing the crowd kind of like slowly freak out. Like it slowly started, like people were like, I think Kanye's here. And like, and then after that, people just start sprinting down like all the stairs, down the field. People start rushing the field because out he comes. He just starts walking. Kanye West arrived, and it was
great.
In typical Kanye West fashion.
Yeah, it was typical Kanye West fashion. Nobody knew about it. They came around, did like 3-4 songs, and got out of there. But I mean, people were sprinting, and we ended up joining in, and we ran down onto the field. We didn't get onto the field, but people were jumping onto the field, and we jumped into the bullpen where the pitchers warm up regularly. And so that was like, now I can say I've been in the Chicago White Sox bullpen. But it was because I jumped in there as the Kanye West was performing. As I believe right after, it was right before we jumped in, some other girl jumped into that same bullpen and like broke her arm. And so like medical attention was focusing on that. But like that by far was like one of the craziest experiences I've like been at a concert. Like it was just like I could not believe that A, he showed up, and B, that like I went on that kind of trip within like 2 days and just lost tons of sleep, but it was all completely worth it because the musical acts at it were all phenomenal, and it was a really cool experience.
Nice. Well, if that's everything we have for that one, Kenzie, what's your topic this week?
I mean, the weather today just turned out to be kind of weird. It lightened up, but it was very rainy this morning.
It was, yes.
And I was like, I love the rain. And like, what do you guys do during like rainy, even snowy days, like bad days where you don't want to go outside and don't want to do anything? And it's just, you guys have anything?
Yeah, I actually had this conversation with my roommates earlier today. Just like it was a rainy day, and I was kind of like, I'm not a fan of like gray days like it was today. Like it was gray and just kind of raining a little bit. And I was like, if it's gonna rain, I want a nice like pitter patter. I want this rain to be going all day. Like I want to hear the constant rain going. I myself prefer sunny days like what we had over the weekend. I loved the weather that we had over the last weekend. It was great. It was good to be outside. But whenever it's bad like that, it just depends. On a good snow day, I'm playing video games. That's for sure. That's happening. Like I'm not leaving the house. I'm staying in. I'm bundling up and playing some video games. Today's more of just like you get the rain and it's depressing and it makes you not want to do anything. Like it was just one of those great. I don't know if you guys feel that way.
Do you have like a go-to snow day video game? Or
No,
do you just play whatever is handy?
whatever I'm in the mood for. Right now, it's typically Overwatch, but God, whatever I'm feeling that day.
Kenzie?
I love rainy days.
Yeah.
Contrary, I don't like super snowy days just because I'm not a fan of the cold.
Yes, I agree completely.
The cold is terrible, but rainy days I love. Like if it's pouring down rain, and if it's warm while pouring down rain and not like freezing cold, then typically I'll go stand outside for a few minutes. And I've done that several times with my sisters. And that's been pretty fun. Like, my mom's caught it on camera before because we're just standing outside, like, pouring down rain and we're just soaking wet. But typically I like to just curl up with, like, a book, throw some music on, and just kind of relax. Because I find, like, thunder and lightning to be super relaxing.
Yeah.
And typically it helps me sleep, too.
I will say that, like, whenever, I don't know what it is, I don't know, it's different moods for different days with that kind of stuff, but I feel like on a good rainy day, I don't know why, but when I listen to music, I always feel like I enjoy the music I listen to on a rainy, because I don't know if it's because it's more sad music or whatever, but, like, whenever it's a rainy day, like, I typically feel like I'm listening to way better music on that day than I would be on a sunny day, because it's just dumb, happy songs. On a
different experience because of the weather.
Yeah, it
Can't
is.
explain it.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, on like snowy days, I hate the snow. I hate the rain. I just want it to be sunny all the time. Yep. That's my personality. But when it is rainy, I usually need some like color in my life because the sky's all gray and ugly, and I don't like that. So I'll usually like watch a movie or YouTube or like, I don't know, raining. Like a lot of artists are like, oh, on a rainy day, I'll paint. I'll make things, but I'm not like that because the rain totally drains everything out of me. So I just need to like relax and recharge on a rainy day. On a snowy day, I get the opposite mood where I like have a bunch of energy and I need to do something with it. It's usually gone towards like shoveling snow or cleaning something. But I also like to play video games on rainy days just because I can't go outside and do anything.
Yeah.
So you got to do something inside, and I don't like to read.
Get that cabin fever.
Yeah. Oh God, I get it so bad. If I'm inside for like 3 days, as soon as I go outside, I'm like, what is this? Especially during the summer, if it's hot outside, like I'll just stay in all the time.
See, I only like snow on like 6 days of the year. And it has to be
3 days before and after Christmas.
Yes. And it's just like, people are always like, I always say I want snow on my birthday, and they're like, why do you want snow on your birthday? My birthday is 3 days before Christmas. If we get snow on my birthday, it should stick until Christmas.
Yes.
And then there's snow on Christmas, and then we're good.
Yeah. I always hate, like, if it snows heavily on Christmas, because then I go out and I open presents, and then my dad's like, all right, go shovel the driveway. I'm like,
Dad!
See, yeah.
Just got a new thing!
For, like, us, like, Christmas Eve, if it snows heavily on Christmas Eve, it's not really that fun, because the entire side of my mom's family, my mom's side of the family, we all get together at my grandparents' house. And so one of my aunts lives in Lincoln, which is like about an hour, depending on the day.
It's the
drive.
other big city in Nebraska.
It is the other big city in Nebraska.
Only two.
And so like then they drive back the same night. So like it has to be like semi-decent weather for them. But like we don't want it to be snowing too hard just for road conditions, but also just enough where the soup is more enjoyable.
Yeah, when I was in high school, I got in a really bad car wreck in the snow just because like the roads are slick and stuff. So now whenever it's like snowy out and I have to drive, I like have several mini panic attacks while I'm driving. I've gotten better about it, but like still, if it's snowing, I just do not want to go anywhere.
I don't want to walk when it's icy outside. I'd rather just like kind of crawl, but that's just because I have like terrible knees.
If it was socially acceptable to crawl on ice in public,
Yeah.
I would do it all the time.
Well, like my left knee likes to just randomly pop in and out every once in a while.
You know, just
It's gotten.
casually popping
It's
in and out.
because when I was in middle school, I grew a lot, so my growth plate got messed up. It doesn't do it so much now, but like it'll still pop out, and then it'll hurt and be swollen for like a few days, and it makes me just sad. But then my right knee, I don't want to dislocate it again, so like I just want to stay away from ice.
Knees, girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ice can be dangerous.
Ice is dangerous.
Yeah, the gears are turning. I'm glad that we're done with ice, I hope. Knock on wood.
I mean, Walmart's
we're done for the year.
we're no longer getting ice at Walmart, or ice melt from Walmart. So
we better not have any
more
more
ice.
We're all going to be screwed because Walmart's not going to have ice melt. We're just going to have to use table salt on our staircases.
Kitty litter.
Kitty litter also works. I don't have a cat though, so I can't do that.
I mean, Walmart has like $4 like pretty decent like bags. That's non-skippable stuff, but it still works enough.
If Walmart's covered in ice, then I'm not going.
I know.
Not leaving the
It all
house.
sucks.
That would be one of the things I won't do on a snow day.
Yeah, it's like, see, there's snow and there's rain, but then there's ice, which is the absolute worst precipitation. Because we had that like week. What was it, a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, it was bad.
Where it would just like ice, then melt, then freeze again, and then it would rain again. And so there were like 3 layers of ice just everywhere. Like just trying to get to my car was
there's
such a pain.
There was that one day where it just straight up sleeted and then hailed.
Yeah.
That wasn't fun.
The heck, Maryville. Come on, man.
Choose your emotions.
Maryville ruins everything. I'm joking. I like Maryville, I just don't like the weather.
Yeah.
Gosh. Okay. Third and final topic. Time to talk about something very serious. Puppies. Me and my girlfriend just adopted a 4-month-old dog yesterday. And she's a breed that I've never heard of. It's called a pot cake. They're a breed native to the Bahamas. We did a lot of breed research, and now I'm like all activist about pot cakes because they're so cute and in need of help. So they're native to the Bahamas, and basically, imagine that a bunch of dogs just like mixed so much that it eventually just came to a new breed.
Yeah.
So like European sailors that would come to the Bahamas, they would take their dogs with them, especially like rat terriers, German shepherds, things like that they would keep on the ships. And they would just go to the Bahamas and they would mix, and eventually they became their own species of dog. They're very unique dogs in that in the Bahamas, they're basically wild dogs. They're just street dogs, which is very upsetting because they're very mistreated. But they're adorable and smart. And I've heard stories of people that go there like as pot cake rescues, and they find adult dogs with like burn marks from where people put boiling water on them and like machete scars and things like that. And so they're very, very mistreated and in need of help. And they're so smart. We've had this puppy for 2 days and she's already potty trained.
What's her name?
Her name is Jojo. Her full name is Josephine Jane Francisco, but we just call her Jojo for short. And she already knows how to sit. It took her 2 days to figure out how to sit, and she's already mostly potty trained. She had one accident today.
I mean, but she's a puppy, so like.
True, and she is the love of my life. Sorry, Rachel, if you're watching this. But yeah, she.
Get one of those like little potty mats. It's like fake grass if you need to.
Yeah, well, she has a porch, so we're probably gonna put some pee pads or some turf out there for her. But she knows when she's outside that she needs to pee and get it over with, which is good. And need to spend less time gushing and more time talking about the breed, though. God, I just love that dogs. So we can just talk about pets for a little while. But
Pets are great.
specifically, my pet. She was in a foster home because people bought her online from the Bahamas. They had like bought her online when she was a puppy, and I don't know what these people were thinking, but they couldn't handle a puppy, so they put her up for adoption. And me and Rachel met with the foster home and immediately was in love with her. She's so affectionate and so smart. I need to shut up now, but pot cakes, definitely look into them. They're exactly what they're spelled, pot cakes. They're named after a traditional dish in the Bahamas. It's rice and beans and whatever else they throw in there. It's because a pot cake is just whatever's in the kitchen, and the pot cake dog is whatever breeds mixed together. And yeah, they need help. So definitely look them up. They're great dogs. They're geniuses. I'm sure there's lots of rescues that you could donate to if you can't actually adopt the dog. But what do you guys do? I know that you have a pet. Do you have any pets?
I don't have any pets up here. I have one back at home, which is a mix of, it's mainly lab. It's about like 80% lab and 20% Australian Shepherd. And I love that you kept saying that your dog was very, very smart and very intelligent, because I have this, I don't think it's an unpopular opinion or a bad opinion or whatever, but like personally, if I'm looking to get a dog, I want to get a mutt. Like I want to get something that's been mixed with other breeds.
Well, and they're so much healthier than purebred dogs.
Exactly.
Well. Yeah.
They're healthier than purebred dogs. I feel like they're smarter. If you compare dogs to humans, typically,
yes, as one does.
Humans that are staying within the family like that don't.
That's very true. Yes.
And that's why you see like certain purebred dogs have they have the underbite
and they have so many joint problems,
deformities,
and back problems,
and that's because they're bred within their families. They're bred within their own breed. You get a mutt and they are not like that. They're typically smarter because it's proven that diversity makes you better. Not only from like
not only in dogs,
not only in dogs, in humans.
Diversity is a good thing.
We're making this very clear. Diversity is very good.
Yes.
People could learn from some dogs.
Yeah, come on, learn from the pot cakes. Let's go.
Seriously, that's good to hear, because like I always felt like my dog is very smart. Like it's always been very obedient, very loving, affectionate. Always knows like. Which is, I still think is weird that like they know what we're saying, even though like, because you can just tell them to go get something for you, then they'll go get it and bring it back, and just that like let him know what's going on. I mean, granted, he's part of a retriever, so I mean that's kind of his job. And like
it's in the name.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and I was walking a friend's hunting dog the other day, and like it was just cool seeing like that kind of breed already. Like, I think it was maybe 6 months old puppy still, but like you can already see it starting to do its pointing and stuff and smelling and like getting its snout all up, looking for stuff.
Some dogs are bred for very specific things, like rat terriers. They will just burrow in whatever they can get because they were put on ships to like kill rats.
Kill rats. Yeah. I think if this may offend you, because I am very pro dog over cat.
I know, okay,
but I love cats at the same time, though. Like I still love cats.
I love animals.
Yeah,
animals are. We don't deserve pets. Honestly.
We don't. We do not.
Okay.
Talk about Rat Ted.
I am a cat person, but I'm gonna go off on a little bit of a dog tangent for a second because I do love both breeds of animals, and but you guys are talking about how these smart dogs and whatnot. My family has 2 black labs. They are stupid as all get out.
Oh no.
Purebreds?
No, they're not. They're mixed with something. They're just so playful. They don't really care. But we got them when they were very little puppies. They were not even like 2 months old. But their mama had died from heartworm, and so they were being like bottle fed because they were rescued, and they were in like this litter, and we had just put our other dog down a few weeks prior, who we'd had for 16 years, so it was very hard. And
You're making me sad.
Yeah, the other puppy, she was a great dog though, because my dad had her when I was like before he and my mom got together, and so when I was born, she went through me, and then both my sisters as babies, and apparently we just loved to pull on her fur. So she was a very tolerant dog. And she was just great, and I miss her, but she was a mutt, so she was just fantastic. Anyway. Mutts
are great.
We were only going to get 1 dog, mainly from like my dad, because he'd had her for so long, and we had made the mistake of taking my baby sister along. She was like 5 at the time. So we got the biggest of the litter out, and she was just so lovey, loved my dad. My dad was able to like hold her like a baby, which is his test for dogs. And so he's like, we're sure going to get this one. And this other one, the little runt of the litter, came up and started loving on my mom.
Oh.
And so then we're like, okay, we're for sure getting the 1 dog. And then my baby sister started crying.
That's when
and
it's game over.
The guy who owned the shelter at the time said, I'll give him to you, buy one, get one half off. Aww. Because the adoption fee there includes like spay and neuter and whatnot. And so we got 2 dogs that day.
Nice.
And they're so cute and they're so lovey, and they'll still both sit on you.
Aww.
And the one that went out, and their names are Andy and Maggie, and they're both sisters. Maggie was named after Maggie and the Ferocious Beast. Not gonna lie. I was talking about that show with my mom when we were trying to figure out names. She came right to me and I'm like, what's your name now?
And then Maggie now.
Yeah, my baby sister came up with Andy, Andie, because I don't know why she got the Andy part from, but she wanted she's like, it's not Mandy, because that's what our old dog was named.
Oh my goodness.
Our other dog was named Mandy. And so she's like, it's not Mandy, it's Andy. 5-year-old logic.
Yeah, exactly.
But so that became Andy's name, and they're going to be 7 this year in November. So, but they're still so lovey and so hyper and so playful, and they'll still knock you over to lick your face.
Oh.
And we took them to see Santa over Christmas.
Oh, God.
Dogs
That
are
was
so
great.
good.
That was so cute.
They're so
we didn't
good.
get a single good picture of the both of them, but we found one where they were both looking just derpy enough where it was fine. But
That's so cute.
I personally have a cat.
You do have a cat.
I do have a cat.
Talk about Rad Tad, as he's known.
Last November, the day after Black Friday, we were at the shelter in Fremont, kind of looking around just because we were bored and we wanted something to do. And we're in the cat room, and this cat reaches out and sinks his claws into my sweatshirt, not hard enough to hurt me, like more like, hey, I'm right here. Can you give me attention?
Hello.
Exactly. And so like the tag says Conrad, 6 months old. He's a boy. So I pull him out, and he like cuddles up to me. And like, I love you. Ready? I felt you for 2 seconds. And so my other sister, Alyssa, who is 17 at the time, she was like, you should totally get a cat. Like, you're fine. You should get a cat. And I'm like, no, I don't know if I'm ready for a cat. She's like, you're ready for a cat? I'm like, you're right. I'm ready for a cat. She is the worst person, but also the best person, because she's just like, yes, do this. But at the same time, like, if I'm going to get something that's really stupid, she'll be like, what are you doing with your life? But she very much was like, you should get this cat. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to get the cat. And I went and talked to the people at the front desk, and they're like, figured that all out. They thought he was mean. And I'm like, he's not mean.
He's
and
not
I was like,
mean. He's rad.
just mostly because he like kept, I think it was because he just kind of wanted attention, because he's very much a lover. So I got him, and like they brought him out to me, and he curled up on me, and I was like, yes, my cat. And so like I kept his name as Conrad, because that's funny for a cat.
Yes, and
like, who names a cat Conrad?
I am known, or he is known throughout our group as Rad Tad.
Yes.
Do you want to explain Rad Tad to us?
Nathaniel, it became one of his nicknames. I can't remember why anymore, but he's like, his name's Rad Tad now. Conrad is his slave name. And I'm like, no, Conrad's his real name.
I was gonna bring that up with you guys.
This just in from Nathaniel. He's named Rad Tad because when Nathaniel said it once, he turned his head.
Oh yeah, he did. He turned his head.
He turned his head.
It's meant to be then.
It was fate.
I call him Fuzzbutt.
Aww.
Just because it's really cute. And my mom calls him like Conrad and whatnot.
Oh God.
That's rude.
Yeah.
He's really cute, but he's been at my parents' for the last month for reasons I don't want to get into, because I'm still very frustrated with it. We did. I don't want to get into them again. But, like, I'm going home this weekend mostly to see my cat.
Okay.
Although I'm going to see my family, too, and just pick some stuff up. But I'm going to go see him.
Mostly for the cat.
Mostly for the cat. But, like, he loves to just lay on my chest, and I kind of miss it, because, like, whenever I'm at home, like, he'd just always, like, lay on my chest and be like, hey, give me attention. Forget all your problems. And I have so many pictures of him on my phone and on my Snapchat story. No, like, I have this one really cute one, like, not even a month after I got Conrad. I was laying in bed, like, on my side on my phone, and he comes up beside me, and he lays down, and he puts his paws around my arm and pulls my arm to him, and I'm like, you're too cute.
Oh, sweet boy.
I know, I miss him, and I'm like, can't wait to have him back.
I always give my mom a hard time whenever I see her, or whenever I have to, like, because I don't live too far from here, or my back home isn't too far from here, so like if I gotta meet like halfway to get something for like my car registration or something like that, we'll meet up at the gas station in between here and back home. And I'm always like, you're bringing the dog, right? Like, he gets to stay in Maryville with me for a week, right? Like I can babysit him, take him off your guys' hands. One time I gave her a real hard time. I was like, oh, it's just been so stressful recently. I could really use the dog. And just really, like, I didn't even mean it. Like, I was just like, just give me the dog. Like, you don't need him. I do.
There were dogs outside the library today. It was great, because they were like little poodle mixes of some sort. And they were super lovey, too. They were like 15 weeks old. They were like, yes, give me all the attention.
It's always great how the animals will make you feel better.
Oh, yeah.
Animals always make you feel better. Well, thank you, everybody, for watching. This has been Let's Talk. Thank you, Kinsey. Thank you, Shane, our extra special guest, for coming on. And thank you for watching. I'm Philip. See you next time. Hey, you just watched Let's Talk. If you liked what you saw, check out more videos here. If you want to check out more from KNWT, click up here. And if you want to subscribe, click